That's so funny. Hey, we in this thing. Me and my boy Trent, Ultra Fly Talk, another episode. And yeah, sir, how's your morning going so far, though? Going all
I
right?
mean, it's been pretty good. I was supposed to be working right now, and here we are. We just job got canceled, so here we are. It's all good.
Okay, but see, sometimes like when a little situation like that happens, sometimes it's an opportunity for something else to happen, which is dope because at least we get to film a little earlier.
Exactly.
What do you, what you puffing on right now though? What flavor is that?
Oh, this is one of the old ones I'm still trying to finish off. I haven't bought any new ones yet. I'm just trying to finish some of these off because there's the squidgiest of lines left on them, like at the very, very bottom. That line's good for at least like 30 hits though. So it's like, okay.
Let me just slowly puff away. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. This other one I got was just, oh man, don't get this one. It just leaks so bad. Like it comes out of the top here after a while and it clogs a lot. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that one.
That's the unfortunate part about it. Only because like they haven't gotten it down to like like they've gotten it down to a science, but they haven't gotten it down to the point where it's like there's no room for faults. Like you know what I mean? Because if you were to take a big hit out that pen, then all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of distillate in your mouth, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, "Come on, man."
It's happened.
Like
happened a couple times.
But this is unnecessary. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure you could just eat it or whatever and get extra high. But still, what are you gonna do, right?
Exactly. It's just like we're just gonna deal with it and get a better one next time. That's it.
I feel like that's like a lot of you know what, like even though we were just talking, like I was just mentioning to you about like um chilling a little bit from the herbs, but that's one of the things where if you, for example, say even with the flour, if you were to buy a type that you're not 100% a fan of, and then you're like, no, because you still got to blaze it down. You can't just throw that away. You know what I mean? So
Well, you can't even refund it either or anything like that. What are you gonna do with it
hey,
except use the fucking thing?
there's no other alternative. Like that's the only kind of tricky part about that. I was gonna use a weird analogy, but I'm not gonna do it because yeah, because it's like okay, use it. It's like personal items, for example, like like underwear, toothbrushes and such. Once you use it once or twice, you can't just yeah, I gotta return this. What you mean? You wore these, or you use this in your mouth. You can't just return these. Like,
Especially not now. Fuck.
especially not now. COVID in your system. Right as soon as you return the underwear, I got COVID. But no,
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
obviously you're not going to return underwear in the first place. But I'm just saying as an example, it's just like herbs. Like you can't like. Of course, you can give it off to one of the homies or whatever, and like they might wanna, they might be like, oh, that's a cool flavor. I fuck with this, but at the same time, it's like, nah, bro, nah, man. Like we can't be out here wilding like this. But yeah, man. Like on another note, I've written down some topics, my dear sir, and not really.
So,
They're more of like they're more questions. They're more like questions slash to get one's perspective on. You know what I mean? Like
very
that's
good
kind of the
question.
best way because these are things that I was thinking about like over the past few days. Things that like I feel like are potentially hindering myself from getting to the next step. So I wrote certain questions down to help me like maybe answer or better analyze the situation. And hopefully like some of the answers that you may have like may help you find, some peace or solace in what you're trying to do next or how you're trying to move forward in this world. So the first one would be more or less like what are some goals that we're trying to like that you're trying to accomplish this year? What would you if you had to? And again, like it doesn't have to be nothing materialistic. It's just certain things that you may want to accomplish this year.
Honestly, the only thing I'm thinking is just try to get this driver's ed shit finished here. That's pretty much it. That's the only thing I have like that's a present goal. That's like a right now sort of goal is just to get that shit done
Okay.
with so I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't know, man. It's something I haven't really thought of much since, lockdown, like the original one last year, because it was just like I just
Yeah,
got to live for tomorrow or today sort of thing. Like I can't worry about like what's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen like a month or so down the road.
facts.
Now, it's not the definitely that's definitely not saying like I've completely thrown out like aspirations or anything like that. But as far as long term goals for, I don't look for long term goals mostly these days anymore. It's just like I'll just do what makes sense right now, and then hopefully by doing something I did right now that will set me up later. That's basically my
Okay.
looks at it right now with how that is. I really can't give you a specific goal I have in mind other than keep doing this and like
No,
keep
yeah, you said like
growing,
the driver's ed.
growing
Yeah,
this.
you're saying like even the driver's ed. That's what I was saying. Like even like about it, like it not necessarily being super materialistic, because it's like, for example, if you are just trying to focus on doing things that are going to better you right now, and hopefully those things will build little pieces to allow something bigger and greater to happen later. That's an extremely smart way and good perspective to have on the now. My goals are very similar in that regard, where it's not that I do, like, of course we have our dreams and aspirations, but um, like certain goals for me is just like cutting back on certain expenses, uh, doubting myself a little bit less, because certain decisions you may choose, or you may think, okay, I'm going to make this decision, um, and then for some reason some type of doubt is built up within you, and then you're saying to yourself, dang, well, I know I'm confident and I know I'm capable of doing this, so why am I feeling doubt now? And then it might be from an outside source. I don't know if you're gonna make it, bro. Blah 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 blah. And then you're sitting there like, oh man, maybe he's right or maybe she's right. And you're thinking, oh, doubting myself less. That's definitely a goal. And it's not even
That's
that
a
I'm
big
not
one.
confident. It's just more that sometimes you're trying to enter realms where other people have more experience, and it's unfortunate when they try to discourage you, because it seems like, oh, there's not enough for everybody, but there's always enough for everybody. So that right there is like, so I feel like that's like a fuel for when people try to like put things on me to doubt, have me doubt myself. But again, it's not that one isn't confident. It's more just trying to doubt myself less.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
more of like a projection from other people than anything else, like what you're saying there.
because and don't get me wrong, I know we can say things like, "Yo, don't care about what people say, or don't care about what people think to you, or think about you." Sorry, but a lot of times these people sometimes have some type of influence or something like that that could help assist you or help get you to a further place in life, whether it's in a materialistic way or even maybe in a spiritual way or another way like that. And it's like I'm trying to make sure that these projections don't affect me. I don't doubt myself, and if I want to accomplish something, or if I want to try something, I try it. And then if I don't like it, hey, I didn't like it. But I don't want to have other people tear me from those types of things, or make me feel like, oh, Graham, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Because at that point, then like I feel like I'm living for them. So that's a couple of goals. And another goal that I'm trying to do is like trying to be more appreciative. Not that I'm not grateful and things of that nature, but I know that, like, I'm very fortunate in certain degrees in my life, and I want to make sure that like I show my appreciation, whether it's giving back more, whether it's doing things differently, so that it's not a selfish thing. Even though like we all have our lives to live, I'm trying to be a little bit less selfish as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely trying to accomplish getting to another level in life as well, mentally, spiritually, and physically. That's the goal within the next few months. That's why I was mentioning to you a little earlier that I'm trying to cut back on certain things to allow like the expenses to grow, so that I can try to start doing other things. But that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
It makes
The
sense.
next, yeah, but and that's what it is. We have, I don't know, Trent. I'm just saying we have. Well, we'll get later. Later in the later topics, we'll get into the
Yeah.
other stuff. But okay, so the next one that I would want to bring up is just like, what are some things that you want to spend more time on? Again,
Mm,
this doesn't have to be anything materialistic. This could be whatever.
honestly, I've got a few. I came up with a few different answers there. The first one the first one
Okay.
that popped into my head was just like doing this shit, but not just doing like ultra fly talk, but like doing like my other videos and stuff like that that I
Yeah.
should be doing right
Yeah.
now, but like I'm just not, just because
Yeah.
X,
No.
Y,
No, man.
Z, whatever else. But honestly, man, just being around friends and stuff like that, because that is like it's so fucking awesome. Like just being able to be out and like around here, just be able to go out and do things again with like as limited as we can do things like as it is, but like it's still fucking just nice to be out and be social again. Like
That's what's up.
that's really something else. And that's pretty much it's pretty much all I could think of, man. Like those two big things right there. But like there's other things I should probably be putting more time into, like, you know, working out and
Well,
trying to get like a bit better in shape. But at the same time, like,
that's what I was gonna say. What about spending a little bit more time, quote unquote, on yourself? That's what I was gonna say when you just made that last point. With the like whether it's working out, yoga, whatever, like getting
Mhm.
yourself feeling like you're mentally stronger, physically strong. But that's kind of my answers would be fairly similar to yours, where it's like, yo, spending more time with loved ones slash friends, which I've been slacking on, but mainly because it's like this whole pandemic thing switches your mind state, bro. Where
Yup.
you can't, you gotta pick and choose. Well, I guess life is like that regardless, where you gotta pick and choose where you spend your time. But being able to have real life conversations, whether it's over Zoom, whether it's on a phone, could still make a big difference. And that's something that I've been slacking on as well. So I got to spend more time communicating with family and friends. I definitely have to spend more time on the different physical, like different types of workouts and different things like that I was trying to do, but got derailed a little bit. But now I'm back on track. I got to spend more time doing this. Like even cooking, bro. I'm trying to start cooking more. As far as like on some
Preach.
just
Holy hell.
googling recipes and stuff. Like I like this is the next. These are the next in the next few months, bro. I'm gonna be Graham. I'm gonna be Chef Graham out here. Chef Graham Ramsay. I'll be Chef Graham Ramsay calling people idiot sandwiches and stuff. Yeah.
Oh God.
That's what it turns into, bro. I'm just, you know, these are some things I want to accomplish, man. I definitely want to accomplish these things. Like to spend more time uh, enjoying life, enjoying the different moments. I'm trying to spend less time focusing on the future. Yo, man, 10 years from now, I'm gonna be doing this. It's like that's not even where my mindset is, bro. Like you want to develop a plan, and like I want to spend more. Also, I want to spend more time developing like different types of scripts, films, things like that, and slowly but surely get them into the works, bro. Even if we're using like me, you, Pool, and a few other people as actors or whatever, bro, we got to get this like certain people. And I know everyone has their own things they're doing, but when it gets to an eventual point where it's like, especially like when we have different types of equipment, things like that, bro, we're gonna be spending a lot. I think we're gonna be spending a lot of time building and creating. You know,
I agree. I agree.
but these are the things, man. Like, and to the listeners, I wanted to have this. I wanted to ask Trent and converge and have these types of conversations and ask different things about life because a lot of times we don't get to like when we're watching people's podcasts or people are watching our, they don't necessarily get to they'll hear our opinions on things, but they won't necessarily get to hear maybe what our dreams or our aspirations, what we want to spend time on, et cetera, et cetera. Because I feel like if you don't pinpoint and actually like talk about these things, you can't just wait for it to come out in a random episode. Like that's why I wanted to kind of, episode 8, let's see what's going on within us,
That makes
Um,
sense.
but this next point, for example, would be like, but see, this is kind of similar to the last one I asked. But it's like, what are some of the important things in your life? Things you cherish. Kind of similar, but different at the same time.
Family. That's definitely the first and foremost.
Okay.
family and friends, obviously, but just the fact that like I don't want to say privilege is the only word that I can come to mind with. It's just like the fact that I'm able to be sitting here doing this on a like an actual like laptop in my own place or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yes.
it's just something I don't want to take for granted because I could just as easily as not have this. You know what I mean? Um, and
Very
that's
true.
like more
Very
of like
true.
a materialistic thing like that. But once again, like friends and family and like the support I have and all that, that's something I care about more than anything else. Like fuck everything else. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be here right now.
Bro, that's as real. That's the realest bit you ever spoke. Because, bro, family, and I get it. They say that the expression "we can't choose our families." I get it, but granted, you're fortunate to have a family that is cultivating and nourishing and things of that nature, helping propel you forward. Bro, very privileged, very fortunate, very blessed to be in that position. I'm in a very similar situation, bro, where I have two parents that love me in that regard. Um, I got a big, like, a whole bunch of sisters, two nephews. It's a bigger family, but
Mm-hmm.
we're constantly trying to challenge each other and constantly trying to have each other be better. Um, we got to communicate more, but that's super important to me, bro. Life itself is super important to me in the sense of as soon as I wake up, bro, and my eyes open, I see some sunlight. That right there, automatically, I'm like, yep, important, thankful. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you are fortunate to have another opportunity. Don't get me wrong. You don't want that opportunity to end that same day, but at the start of the day, you gotta at least be thankful that it started. You know,
I
very
agree.
important. Like trying to trying to free oneself, trying to be better mentally, like for mental health. That's super important to me. Being out in nature, that's super important to me. Just walking through a trail, going on a hike, being near some trees where you can just feel a different energy, different vibration of life.
Not wait till
Super
this fucking
important,
winter's
man.
over for that. Holy shit.
Yeah, this winter, yo, you already know how I feel from the last 17 episodes. Jack Frost, Jack Frost, yo,
Yeah, he
him,
can fuck
Mr.
right off.
Freeze, exactly, 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 bro. I've been wanting to throw hands with him. I've been wanting to whoop that.
Square up.
as soon as I see Jack, as soon as I see Jack Frost, it's on site.
It's on site.
Hey, all the times I done
Frosty
slipped on ice.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, all the times I done slipped on ice. All the time that he made my car stall out on me. All these things. And I'm just like, yo, Jack, bro. As soon as I catch you, me and the homies, bro,
It's
we running
on.
down. But nah, man, like, it's just something to think about, like on some real stuff. Like these things are super important, and like just there's so many other things important, but just for the sake of time, I would just say, I don't care if it sounds corny or not. Love, love is important, sir. Oh, oh no! It looks like we're recording software. Hopefully, you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh yeah, yo, that's on me. That's on me. You know my
Oh,
connection.
good,
Yeah,
dog.
but yeah, man. All I'm saying is love is super important too, because if we're gonna be out here sharing more love, spread more love, I feel like there'll be a lot less nonsense happening. And you see it in certain degrees where you see two people helping each other who have no idea who the other person is. A situation may happen where someone's car breaks down or whatever case is, someone drops their groceries, another person springs. My bad, yo. I
There we
think
go.
you know what? Yo, on the flip side, don't get me wrong. Though we've been having a few ones and twos, hopefully it doesn't stress the situation too much. Like
It's fine.
hopefully
I can
they'll
hear
all
you.
be
I
together.
can hear you again.
All right, yeah, man. Don't get me wrong. To the people listening, bear with me, bro. We gonna get it. We gonna get it right very very soon. Uh, but yeah, man, I'm just saying love's super important. That's all. Like
100%.
Next
Love is
topic. Don't
the
get.
antidote.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If you had something to add, please add.
Love is the
Please.
antidote. That's all I wanted to add.
Yep. Yep. And I shoot. I'll tell you right now, I got a whole bunch of dosages to give people. It is what it is, bro. Because I'd rather give that love than be out here fronting and giving hate and stuff like that. That's not what
Mhm.
type of time I'm on. I'd rather give mad love too. But ooh, next one, bro. What's your biggest fear slash fear?
That's a deep question right there, huh? Hmm. Hmm. Biggest fears other than snakes, obviously. Hmm. Snakes and alligators, actually. Oh,
My bad, yo. My dad's acting a fool now. But anyway, if you hear me, what would you say your biggest fear is, bro? Slash fear.
other than snakes and alligators, oh man, it's a good question. I don't know, man. Like underappreciated, like talent, maybe, like just like all that potential going to like
Mm,
absolute waste or it not ever being like I don't know. That's like that's the only way I can put it. Just that fear of like I don't want to say not making it because that doesn't make any fucking sense. But like just that going to like just
being that
for
like you're gonna be feeling that fear your whole life. Granted, you don't get to some like Michael Jackson level of you know what I mean,
Mhm.
whatever you're trying to accomplish. And that's the thing that could throw people off because I feel like every time like because that's very like that there like the fear of like certain talents not doing what they like their potential was or whatever, so to speak. Waste quote unquote wasted talent. That there is something serious. And it's not about saying that because we all have our, in my opinion, we all have our own talent. But at the same time, it's like how this
It's
this
all good.
this whole this whole Wi-Fi slash bro, I'm tight, bro, because I'm like thinking to myself, how is it this
There we
nonsense?
go.
But I'm not even like a couple meters from the modem. But yo, I'll just say all this. As far as fears go, don't get me wrong. This episode might be choppy, folks, but bear with us. We gonna get it.
We'll figure it out in
You know,
post.
on some real ish though, it's like for somebody to have like a quote unquote wasted talent situation, Trent. That's one of the like biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is quote unquote not accomplishing my purpose or what I feel my purpose is. Some very similar.
That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to get at.
yeah, very similar to what you were saying. Understanding that we don't know when our last breath is. And there's so many things that I want to say to certain people, but I don't because I'm like, man, what if it's not the right time? But at the same, but there is no right time, is what I understood. I had to come to that understanding. There is no right time, whether it's to grow, whether it's to try. But I'm not even like a couple meters from the modem. But yo, I'll just say all this. As far as fears go, don't get me wrong. This episode might be choppy, folks, but bear with us. We gonna get it.
We'll figure it out
You
in
know,
post.
on some real ish though, it's like for somebody to have like a quote unquote wasted talent situation, Trent, that's one of the like biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is quote unquote not accomplishing my purpose or what I feel my purpose is. Some very similar.
That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to get at.
yeah, very similar to what you were saying. Understanding that we don't know when our last breath is. And there's so many things that I want to say to certain people, but I don't because I'm like, man, what if it's not the right time? But at the same, but there is no right time, is what I understood. I had to come to that understanding. There is no right time, whether it's to grow, whether it's to try certain fears, like not saying that I have, where it's like I haven't dropped it. You know what I mean? Where it's like a fear of like it. And it's like it's not about that, but I just there's a certain fears that could come over you, right?
I feel
The
the
fear,
exact same way, dude.
bro. I have a fear of like, bro. It's probably my biggest fear is when it's like, granted, you kicking it with a lady, bam, y'all fall in love, bam, y'all get to a point where it's like, yo, let's have some children, bam, uh, she's pregnant, everything's going good, bam, it comes to the whole point where like the baby's about to come, the baby's born, the woman perishes. Like you know how sometimes they have like the mom might pass away during the birth or whatever. Bro, that's one of my biggest fears, bro. And like I know it has like it's not always in control of one. It's not my control, but I'm saying like that's a huge fear of mine because it's like you see certain movies and certain little things like that, bro, and certain Instagram clips or whatever, and it's like, dang, that is super, but I don't want to be consumed by it. It's something that it's like I've seen it in weird times of life where I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, what if this happened? So then after that, it's like, all right, as far as trying to save these spirits, because hopefully it helps. I can see easier solutions while they're written down instead of like just being like harping on them and having them eat away at you. So I guess that kind of leads to my next point I was going to ask you as far as like just what does one do to help destroy or confront those fears, which kind of I guess I kind of said my answer writing my fears down, but what would be yours, Frozen? You all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just thinking. I'm just trying to think
No, yeah,
how
take your
would
time, please. Take your time. Take your time. My bad. I wasn't trying to rush you. Just take your time.
it's just like like certain fears or you have to confront them head on, like certain ones like to get over that certain thing. And then there's other ones where you just have to give up like not so much control, but like the worry about the control sort of things, like
Yeah.
things you can't control sort of thing. Like I can control to a certain extent how well life turns out for me, but at the same time, I can't account for others and whatever else throws at me. So you do what you can and try not to worry about the rest, basically, in some of these situations. It sounds very basic, but that's about it. Like, just find the things you can work on and control and like actually do right, like right now, down the road sort of thing. And everything else you just have to let go. Like you can't control it. So why stress it? Like you're just gonna make yourself miserable otherwise.
And that's some real, bro. That's some of the realest shit, bro. Like that's what it is. Because you can't versus the things you can't control. You gotta almost relinquish that worry. You almost like you have to, or else you're right. You will go like insane trying to. What happens if this? What happens? And like that's the thing too. I realize sometimes I'll overthink situations, and that can add, of course, add to one's
That's
quote
the
unquote
story of my
fear,
fucking
right?
life right there.
Facts, fact.
Oh,
It's overthinking situations, man. Dealing with things head on. That is what it is. Relinquishing the quote unquote control of the worry. That's where things get tricky because you think to yourself like, yo, it's like, no, man. If that situation ever happens, I can control it. You know what I mean? I can make this happen, and that's not how it goes. That's not how
you
it goes.
hope you
You
can
know,
control it.
we sometimes get the harsh reality. Like life is so raw sometimes. You know what I mean? And like we don't always have something to filter it, so to speak. So you just gotta accept that rawness. Walk in on a situation and be like, damn, what the heck? And then your brain doesn't really know how to handle it if you don't always see that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to make sure I'm good mentally. I know, like I'm good mentally, nothing negative. I have no negative thoughts or anything like that. I'm just saying, yo, shit is real out here. That's why, as far as fear goes, that fear of what if I don't talk to this woman who I think is fine? What if we got to go out here and do these things, bro? Because life is not guaranteed. Is all I was saying. Like the mortality of things is real. We have the opportunity. I'm just saying we have the opportunity. Granted, we're both young, able-bodied, sane mind. We're not necessarily quote unquote crazy, so to speak. We got to make sure we're going for our dreams and not allowing people to try to deter us from that.
Hell yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? We just don't know what's going to happen.
I agree completely, man. I'm sorry you had to see that and like witness
And I
that.
have like a little, bro. Hey, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I just say all that to say it's like and that's just me. That's just me trying to wrap my mind around it, saying like because this person understands they are not getting better. You know what I mean? Is what
Yeah.
makes it wild. You know. But I say all that to say, yeah, man, it's like it's real out here. But
It is like it is real. Like holy
yeah,
fuck.
but and don't get me wrong, like because at first like on some G shit, like when I got hired, bro, because there's like across the street is like a bigger hospital that I got hired, and I don't know, a certain situation happened, and then they transferred me across the street to it's basically a connecting hospital, same company, so to speak, or whatever, UHN. All the real ones from Toronto know what it is. You know what I mean? It's one of like the, But anyway, and it threw me off, bro, because like it sucks because like I'm connected to this thing, bro. Like as far as like grandmother, she had it, things like that. You know what I mean? And it's like it makes you think to yourself like this is some nonsense. But again, you're put in these situations, in my opinion, to go through like when life throws these raw moments at you. You go through these situations, Trent, and it's like, all right, I'm not. There's nothing to cut the edge off because I ain't got no herbs in my system or whatever. Like there's nothing to cut the edge off. You just gotta accept that part. You know
You're
what I
just
mean?
raw
So I just
dogging it out here.
basically no rubber. You know what I mean?
For
no,
real.
no,
Like, fuck, man.
no,
To the
no
people
rubber.
who
Like,
did to the people who've done like this whole like lockdown thing and like haven't like broke down like their sobriety or anything like that, kudos to them. Like, holy fuck, I could not do the same. I
no,
definitely
but
could
then
not do the same, and I'm weak enough to admit that.
no, but see, you know what's wild, Trent? I don't know. It's not. I don't know if it's a weakness. I think because in truth, we all quote unquote have our vices, and it might not be a quote unquote something that helps take the edge off the situation. But like if you're the type of person that you got to like solve puzzles, you got to do crosswords, you got to do Sudoku, these different types of word brain teasers to get your mind off another situation. That might be what you do. You know what I mean? If you got to go out, like say you live in a warmer area and you go out there and just lay in some grass and just breathe and just, bro, people have their own ways of dealing with things. And I don't think it's about being weak because you can say, oh, that's a coping mechanism. That's faced with, but they just might take a little time or they might choose to use something to assist them in dealing with it. But it's not a weakness, Trent. In my opinion, you saying like I'm weak enough to admit it, no, no. That we have to make sure that we continue. If you're quote unquote depressed and you have the power and the strength to go through another day without hurting yourself, how am I going to sit there and say that you're weak? You know what I mean? Like
Fair point.
that's
That's a fair point.
that's that's a situation where it's like, nah, bro. And that's the thing too. Like we have too much. We put too many labels on people. But I'm not going. And I'm guilty of it in the sense of, bro. Like the other day, like a homeless gentleman. I was on the subway going to work, and a homeless gentleman comes on the subway. He's asking people for money. That's all I had. That's all I had on me. And he was like, "Yo, man, can you give me some more or something like that?" And I was there or whatever and walked away. My bad, man.
Yo, all good.
I had to shut off my Wi-Fi and my data and turn them back on. Bro, this is
Damn.
nonsense. Yo, all I'm saying is this. I'm gonna get an Ethernet cable real quick, real soon. But yo, all I'm saying is it's legit. It's real out here where we got to try to not put labels on people. I can't be out here judging people and they might be going through a rough situation. So that's just like one thing. Like as far as like putting, oh, he's weak because this, she's weak. Gotta stop. I got me personally. I way gotta stop doing that. Not saying I'm out here just judging people, but I'm just saying like I've definitely done that to people who don't necessarily deserve it. But yeah, man, as far as just in conclusion, you know what I mean? Like, cause I don't want to keep the people struggling, but just, so we'll skip one and just go like, yo, what are some things that you'd like to change? Whether it's within you, whether it's with the circumstance you're in, different thing. And it's not about, you don't have to necessarily go too personal about the circumstance. I'm just talking about just, you know what I mean? Like, what are some things you'd like to change?
Man, everything. No, no,
He said everything.
no, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, there's things I want to change, but like, I don't know if like they are gonna change right away, sort of things, because a lot of it is tied to like out there, not so much in here. I can only, like I said, I can only worry about so much in my end here. Um, I don't know. Just try to beat this laziness. Like that's about it for me. Something I want to see changed.
Dang. Yo, Trigger. Dang. I don't know if you can hear me, but
I can hear
we're
you.
both choppy. We're both extra choppy right now. This is some nonsense. This is nonsense.
Yo,
I had to switch the whole location. I had to come outside, bro, like to try to get better reception
yeah,
out
we
this
should just save
motherfucker.
these
I
questions
hope,
for another episode, man.
you know what? But on the flip side, does she how this one sounds slash looks? Because although it was choppy as far as the connection cut out, every time it comes back, if you can hear me, every time it comes back, it's still recording. So I
I
just want
know
to see if it pieces together. You know
it
what I
should.
mean? I just want
It
to see.
should.
I just want to see. If it does and it comes out fairly clear, granted, other than like the actual pause in the episode the connection, like if our actual dialogue, all I'm saying is just realize I had to jump outside to make sure that this motherfucker Wi-Fi is bouncing off the satellite right. This is bullshit. Like, what am I doing? But no, I know you on some real shit though. I know you were saying like that you would like to change everything, but is it more like because obviously we cut off right after that, but you were just more or less expressing that you would change everything. But what
No,
if you specific or whatever.
for me, it's the laziness. That's all I really want to get rid of. It's just like overcome it, but like it's not like it's not like it's overwhelming, but it's just like it's still like you can do better than this, and it's still like I don't want.
You're in that internal battle. You want to get rid of the laziness, but then at the same time you're like, dang, I don't care to be lazy or not.
Exactly.
And that's the thing though, Trent. I feel like we've been but obviously that's all based on one stuff. Like once you wake up and you're like, yo, fuck yeah, I'm fired up. I'm doing X, Y, and Z today and accomplishing it. And then you slowly do those actions. It's like, all right. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think we all face that laziness. But I promise you, it's like unfortunately, it's only us. It's only the individual who can get fired up and accomplish the goal. That's what I unfortunately realized.
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody run the race for you, my good sir. Can't nobody run the race for you. But you're saying if you had to like more like biggest fear is like the biggest thing that I'd like to change to is like how certain fears I can't control, bro. What do they call it? Like we get like a hypochondriac or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can hear me.
Choppy, very choppy.
Hello. We don't have I know exact cool. But Trent, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking.
Same.
But yo, I'm gonna holler at you in a second. To beautiful listeners, yo, another episode.